Been a tough couple of days for Donald Trump, from refusing to release his tax returns to the so-called Trump tapes. And now Hillary Clinton is trying to take advantage in a new ad. ABC's Mary Bruce is here with the story. Mary, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, you know, Trump is making an extremely rare move here, breaking precedent by refusing to release his tax returns. And now this morning, Clinton is seizing on it and turning up the heat.
Thank you.
This morning, Hillary Clinton is slamming Donald Trump for refusing to release his tax returns, asking in this new video, what is he hiding?
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely.
I can't do it until the audit is finished.
But Trump tells George voters don't have a right to see a candidate's tax returns.
Yes or no, do you believe voters have a right to see your tax returns before they make a final decision?
I don't think they do, but I do say this. I will really gladly give them. They're not going to learn anything, but it's under routine audit.
Until then, Trump says he won't reveal how much he pays in taxes.
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business. You'll see it when I release. But I fight very hard to pay as little tax as possible.
The commercials is really effective. It uses Donald Trump's own words to sort of expose what could be hypocrisy.
This as Trump is haunted by a voice from his past.
What's your name again? John Miller.
The person on the other end of this call tells us she knew before she hung up this was Trump.
No doubt, the real Donald Trump.
Oh, no doubt. He apologized 2 weeks later and said, I'm sorry, in print.
Sue Carswell was a reporter for People magazine in 1991 when she conducted this interview with a person who claimed to be Trump's spokesman.
He's somebody that has a lot of options, and frankly, he gets called by everybody. He gets called by everybody in the book in terms of women.
Carswell says weeks later, Trump called her and admitted it was him all along. But now, Trump denies it.
A part of me was like, is it Donald? I think it is. It tells you a lot about his character. I mean, he's punking me. He's punking the country.
You think it shows he's a liar?
Yes, it shows he's a liar.
Now, Carswell says she did not leak this recording to the press. She suggests Trump may have released it himself to try and divert attention away from some of the issues dogging his campaign, like those tax returns. Dan and Paula?
All right, interesting theory, Mary. Thank you. Let's bring in ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jon Karl, who's in Washington this morning, getting ready to host this week. Hey, John. So Hillary Clinton, as we saw in Mary's piece, is now hitting Donald Trump on his refusal to release his taxes. Is this a potent line of attack, and isn't it maybe a bit dangerous, given that some have called on her to release her speeches to Wall Street, for example?
I think, Dan, the answer to both of your questions is yes. It is a potent line of attack. Trump will be dogged from now until the election from people saying, what do you have to hide? Hillary Clinton will be making that case, you can imagine, in the debates. But the minute she does, what do you have to hide? The question goes right back to her. And it's not just those transcripts of her speeches to Goldman Sachs and to others, but it's also the emails that were deleted. It's everything else. The Clintons have had a problem with the issue of transparency. Certainly Donald Trump does, too. Welcome to the fall campaign.
We want to talk about something that's getting a lot of buzz this morning, John. The front page article in the New York Times this morning called Crossing the Line, Trump's Private Conduct with Women. Now, polls say he's already extremely unpopular with women. Does he need to fix it? And could this article really further the damage?
Well, look, he does have a huge problem with women. Hillary Clinton begins this race with a double-digit, huge gender gap lead among women. A lot of people will look at that story, though, and say they've heard many of these stories before. They'll see how the New York Times placed that front and center and say, there they go again, the media is going after Donald Trump. So in terms of those that are predisposed towards Donald Trump, they've heard all of this before, and frankly, they've heard worse. I'm not sure it really changes the dynamic much, but he does need to find a way to close that gender gap.
And on a lighter note, John, Saturday Night Live weighing in overnight on reports that Trump allegedly pretended to be his own publicist back in the 1990s. Take a look.
Mr. Trump is the real-life inspiration for Iron Man. Who am I? I'm his publicist, Joey Pepperoni. No, I'm not Donald Trump in disguise. This is just what classy people sound like, okay?
Joey Pepperoni's lines are ringing off the hook this morning. Trump denies he ever pretended to be Joey Pepperoni or anybody else. Do you think people buy that? And does it matter, since all of these Trump controversies really kind of tend to blur together?
He is the ultimate Teflon candidate, Dan. I don't know. You know, this is something else. He hasn't always denied it, by the way. There is that court filing from way back in the 1990s where he acknowledged using the name John Barron on occasion. This is one of the stranger stories. I don't really know where this one goes. The problem for Trump is it's one that could lead towards ridicule, and the one thing he hates is to be ridiculed.
John, thank you. And I want to remind everybody, John is going to be part of a big show this morning. He's going to interview the head of the Republican Party, and Martha Raddatz will be reporting live from Iraq. That's coming up on This Week later this morning right here on ABC.